Welcome, everyone. Just want to thank you so much for joining our Life Tree Zoom tonight. And we have a very exciting guest tonight, Christi Vogt. And she has an incredible background. It's very impressive. And I'm super excited. I have my notebook and my pen. I hope you guys do as well. And so we're going to just give a little bit of information for her background. She lives in Colorado, which is a beautiful state, we all know. And she's been involved in the anti-aging industry for 20 years. She even owned her own preventative medicine clinic. She became a top leader in a network marketing company in 9 months, her first business in 9 months. And in LifeVantage, she became an Elite Pro 7 in 17 months, which is outstanding. She earns a 6-figure income. She's very passionate about helping others with nutrition and lifestyle, but she's even more passionate about helping others achieve success and freedom in network marketing. So how does that sound, guys? That sounds pretty fantastic, doesn't it? I'm super excited, Christi, to have you on our team Zoom. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to share with us tonight. And so I'm just going to let you take it away.
Absolutely. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on your Zoom. Yes, I'm in Colorado, and I started out 23 years ago in medical aesthetics, working for a dermatologist and just, treating people's skin using expensive products and expensive treatments. And I'm listening to their stories, which is part of the training I'm going to share with you guys tonight. But I'm just, I have them in my chair doing their treatments, and I'm just asking questions and bringing stuff out of them, right? And listening to their stories. And it didn't take me long to realize, wow, like everybody pretty much has the same concerns. It doesn't matter, their gender, how old they are, how much money they have, where they're from. Like everybody has concerns, whether they're just busy and stressed out and not sleeping well, low energy, they know that they don't eat well, or they're not taking care of themselves like they should. Their hormones are out of whack. Maybe they got recently diagnosed with like a chronic disease, or somebody that they loved did. So I'm hearing this over and over, and I'm in my 30s at the time. And just thinking, you know what, it doesn't matter in the end how beautiful our skin is. What really matters is our quality of life, and allowing people just to feel good as they're doing their day-to-day activities. So fast forward a few years, I got really fortunate to work for an anti-aging physician who was really ahead of his game in anti-aging. And so you guys, 15 years ago, he sent us to Chicago to an A4M meeting. It was a meeting for preventative medicine doctors. And back then, 15 years ago, there really weren't that many physicians practicing preventative medicine. And I was sitting there in the seat, and I heard for the first time that they were just announcing, all these physicians and scientists on the board, that they discovered that at the root of all disease was what? Inflammation, cellular oxidative stress and inflammation. Like I was in that seat when I first heard that was they discovered that was the root cause of all disease. And, I'm from a family of athletes. I'm an athlete. And I remember this physician on stage. He was like a physician for like athletes, but he was saying, so even in athletes, they actually create more oxidative stress and inflammation because their cells need more inflammation. And if they're not doing the things over time to bring down that inflammation, then it's going to catch up to them in the long run. And how many athletes do we know with, joint pain and, all these issues? So that really was the catalyst that just made me shift in a different direction. I read the book, The China Study, the largest study, 34-year span epidemiological study done on cancer, the China Study. I think everyone should read it. And then I ended up getting my nutrition certification through that program. So it's all about whole food, plant-based nutrition to bring down inflammation, right? To slow down the aging and disease process. Then I fast forward, opened up my own medical clinic because like I partnered with a nurse practitioner, and, kind of parallel to what was happening in my life, you guys, is that I met my husband. I was 21 years old, went to Hawaii to go to college, met my husband. He was 26. He had 2 little boys that he had full custody of. So we raised them. We had 2 more kids of our own. So 4 kids. And, so right now they range from age 36 to our youngest is 25. And so we have just worked so hard our whole lives, me being 21, being an instant mom, just to survive, So he was in the Navy for 22 years, and I have been in this medical aesthetics field. So we just work and work and work. And we're just pretty much just paying our bills. We got caught up in that rat race like most everybody else, but I enjoyed my work. So I opened up this medical clinic. I was age 48. This was only 5 years ago. And thinking that this was going to be our legacy. This was going to be our way out financially too. So poured everything I had, took out loans, money we didn't have, put it into this medical clinic, so I can help people change diet and lifestyle and eat more plant-based foods, basically. So 2.5 years into it, I lost the clinic abruptly to a business partner of mine. So it was very devastating. Our last kid was going off to college. We had no money. We used all our money. We had no money in savings, no money in retirement. And that's when I was introduced to network marketing. And it was a different company. It was skincare. But I felt like this is our only option to fast track towards retirement. I can't continue working for somebody. Obviously, owning our own business isn't the answer. So instead of just feeling sorry for myself and fighting and hiring an attorney and all of that, I just shifted my focus forward to partner with some friends of mine in this kind of startup company. So 2.5 years into that, that's when I just had to make it work. So the first book I read was GoPro, and I just had to develop the skills to make network marketing work for me. So if you guys haven't read GoPro, read it. I give it out to all of my very brand new distributors. And so then I realized, wow, we can make a huge impact on lives, right? Not only with product, but with helping people understand this business. And that's when I fell in love with network marketing. That company sank. It was a startup. So I heard about LifeVantage. I took a closer look at the science. I'm like, oh my God, this is what this was meant to be. Everything that happened to me was meant to be here in LifeVantage, because obviously we've got the products that address all the concerns out there that I've been looking for. It's all plant-based, it made all sense to me. So I joined, and the rest is history. We're in such the best place, best timing right now with the best products. So that's my story. And what I want to kind of train you guys on is I'm all about, I don't know if you saw my training on stage in Kansas City. That's when Julie reached out to me, and I have just appreciated that. But it's all about sharing our business story, owning our owning that we're network marketers. So no matter what else we do in life, we've got to own what we do, and we've got to have the posture and the passion and the belief in being a network marketer. And how do we pull and attract other people into our business? So the beautiful thing of our business is it's all about relationship. It's relationship marketing, and it's building relationships. And yes, initially when we start out, we're working with our warm market and all of our warm relationships. But of course, we've got to keep continuing to put people in the funnel, right? We've got to continue intentionally networking and building new relationships. And a lot of people kind of struggle with that. But I want everyone to understand that it is a skill. It just doesn't come naturally. It came naturally for me just because at age 30, I had to start connecting with people and asking them questions as I was doing their skin. But some people join this business and they don't understand how to develop relationships. So that's what I want to help you guys with tonight. So just get really comfortable. Put down the phone, put down all distractions when you're out in public and you're with people. You're surrounded by people. I love traveling. I love going to the airports. I love sitting by new people on the airplane, because that is an opportunity to make a new friend and make a new relationship. And then get really comfortable with like, what are you going to say when people ask you what you do? Kind of that quick elevator speak. So I'm going to get into that here in just a minute. But again, just remember it's a skill. And as with all skills, it just takes practice. We've got to do it over and over and over again. Make mistakes, say the wrong thing to the, you know, and you're going to learn how to change your verbiage, change things, and just become better. So you've just got to get in there, get through your fears and just start talking to people. And you're going to make mistakes, like I said, but you're going to learn along the way. So I kind of, when I was trying to figure out this training, like how do I put this into steps? Because it's good to have steps. So I did some research and came up with this 4-step technique. And the first step is finding common ground and connectivity, right? That's so important. So people are not going to do business with you until they know, like, and trust you. And you can develop that. You can literally get them to know, like, and trust you in 30 seconds, believe it or not. So the very first thing we need to do is find that connectivity, that common ground. So a really good example is that, say you're in the airport and you're in line, and I'm from Colorado. And so say someone standing next to me has a Colorado hat on. That's kind of that initial common ground, right? That's comfortable. So I would reach out and say, oh my gosh, you're from Colorado. I mean, say I'm in, Ireland, and I see someone with a Colorado hat on. I will say, of course, oh, you're from Colorado, so am I. Where are you from? And then there you go. You're already opening up the door and you're trying to like unpeel the layers. And as human beings, we naturally seek connection. It's just instinctual in us, whether we realize it or not. So we want to now make even a deeper connection with that person. So you start out with saying, we're from the same state, okay, or do your kids go to school there? Or did you grow up there? And just start peeling the layers. What do you do for a living? And, the key to this is not to sell your product, not to get a new distributor. Like I said, is to make a new friend, to make a new connection. So I'm going to weave in an example that I can come up with 3 examples just this week of me meeting a new person and making a pretty deep connection with them. So I'm going to give you this one example. So I'm at the gym and I'm taking kind of the same class I do every week. And there's this new gal, really cute, standing next to me. So kind of during a break between, our little exercise class, I said, oh my gosh, I love that hat. So, people love to be complimented. So start with a compliment. I'm like, it's so cute and blingy. She had this cute blingy hat on. So I love your hat. That's so cute. Like, and I haven't seen you here before. Is this the first time you've taken this class? And she said, I've taken it a couple times, but I don't think it's at the same time as you. So I said, oh my gosh. So we finished the class. And then immediately after class, I just started talking to her again. Like, are you from here? Are you new to, are you from Grand Junction? And we're walking out to our cars together. And you want to be in control of the conversation. So you don't want that new person to start asking you questions, because then you lose control. Right? So you just constantly get used to just asking as many questions as possible, authentically. You want to be authentic, so she said, no, I've lived here for 4 years. I'm like, oh, where are you from originally? And she said, Seattle. And, oh gosh, what brought you to our little town of Grand Junction in Colorado from Seattle? And she said her husband opened up a Kia dealership. Oh, really? And what did he do before? Did he have a Kia dealership in Seattle? And do you see where I'm coming from? And so, and then she said, yes, but he was actually in the Navy. Well, my husband was in the Navy, right? So now we're getting deeper. Oh my gosh, my husband was in the Navy too. And I said, do you have kids? Did you bring them here? And she said, well, I have 4 adult kids. Oh my gosh, I have 4 adult kids too. Grandkids. So then we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is literally as we're walking out of the gym, like literally in the first, 30, 45 seconds. So then we're standing in the parking lot. I'm continuing to ask her questions. And before you know it, of course, she's asking me what I do. So now here's the next step. So the second is to get my notes here. What do I do? So again, you guys want to really figure out what you're going to say, kind of that quick elevator speak when someone says, what do you do? And you don't have that much time, right? So I say I have a global business in anti-aging, marketing products, and nutrigenomics. I found that people like the word anti-aging, and they don't know what nutrigenomics is, but it sounds really cool. So they're going to ask, well, tell me about that, right? It's going to pique their interest just enough. I was talking to one of my leaders on the team too, and we were in Ireland together, intentionally networking in Ireland and talking to people. And so she came up with, I work for a biotech company, marketing products and nutrigenomics. I like using that word anti-aging. So whatever it is for you, but just literally one sentence that's going to pique their interest, that's going to kind of bring them back around. So then at that point, one of the things that if you have time in NLP, that's neuro-linguistics training, what they're saying, and I'm still working on this, you guys, but I want to give it to you to kind of wrap around your head. But it's saying, like, how, so if in my situation with my friend from the gym, I would say, how we women, get so wrapped up in multitasking. We try to get our workouts in, then we go to work. We've got to pick up our kids. We've got to go to the grocery store and make our dinner, and then we start the next day all over again. So you know how that happens. So whoever you're talking to, you kind of want to make that connection, like how we women do this. Or how, if I'm talking to someone younger, how you kids, you like to travel around, you like to balance life. So whatever it is, you're kind of making that connection, that commonality. And then when they say, yeah, we do that. We do multitask. Well, my products help to give more energy, help you sleep better, help balance out the hormones, have less aches and pains. So you feel good doing what you love to do. So that's kind of another way to kind of come back once you pique their interest and say what you do, and then they say, well, so what does that mean? You can say, how, and then make it a deeper level of connection, and then come back with what our products actually do. We have products in nutrigenomics. That's basically taking plant compounds, nutritional compounds, and formulating them to change gene expression. So they're reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. So you have less aches and pains. You have more energy naturally. You have better sleep naturally. Okay. So that's step number 2. Then step number 3 is getting more information, right? We've got to get the tool. I don't know what tool that you guys share, but with the ABC yellow pill or whatever it is, you want to get that tool in their hand. So you want to get their permission. We don't want to just, give it to them like, hey, I'm going to send you over a video. So she said, well, tell me more about it. So then I got her permission. That's step number 3. So step number 4 is now getting the information. So we want to get their information. So instead of me handing a business card or giving her my phone number or even giving her a tool or a website, okay, step number 4 is getting her the information, but I want to get her information first in order to give her the information. So I will, you guys, ideally, I don't know how much you work on Facebook, but ideally, I like to get I like to ask them if they are on Facebook. So I'll say immediately, if she wants more information, I'll say immediately, hey, are you on Facebook? And she'll say yes. Say, well, let's friend each other on Facebook right now. I'll pull out my phone and I'll make sure that we connect and we're friends right away. And I'll say the best way to get you information is to just message you. Do you use Messenger? Sure. If she doesn't use Messenger, then I'll get a phone number and then ask her if texting is better. But now I've got her information, and now I can have control of the conversation. Now on Facebook, we have a private group, and I think, Julie, you said you have like a customer group, right? So ideally, I'm going to want to not only friend her on Facebook to continue like that attraction marketing with her, but then I'm going to ask her permission to add her into our, healthy living community private Facebook group and get her in there, because we add testimonials in there, we add healthy lifestyle tips in there, and we add like product testimonials and product education. So now I'm again in control of that conversation. So now I've got her information. Then, like where Eric Worre says, at that point, let's kind of break off. I've piqued her interest. She's interested. She wants more information. I've connected with her. I've got her information. So I'll say, you know what, I've got to get running, but I will later on this morning get that information to you, right? Then I message her on Facebook, give her the tool that I want to share. Get her permission. Hey, I'm going to, if it's okay with you, I'm going to add you to this private group. And you'll see some more information and testimonials and product education on our products, right? And then now we can send her the link and do all of that. So again, the 4 steps: connectivity, find that common ground. Step number 2 is, affirm, make them feel good for asking, kind of dig into just some more questions. Number 3 is get their permission to give them information. And step number 4 is to get the information, get their information, and then give them the tool. And just remember, 94% of all sales, you guys, is your energy, your belief, your passion. So if you're passionate and you've got belief in network marketing and your business, not only the products, but in network marketing and your business, and you have so much belief in that and excitement in that and what you have as a business, then they're going to want to partner with you and do business with you. So did that all make sense?
Yeah, it's awesome information, Christi. I love it. I think it's very helpful, and I especially like number 4, getting the information, because sometimes it's a little intimidating for people to ask for people's information, and it's easier just to like hand them a business card or something like you mentioned. But a big key is getting their information, remembering to do that so you can follow up and stay in contact. So
yeah, because how many times have you handed out a business card or a flyer, whatever it is, and then it's in their hands, right? They're in control of the conversation. So yeah, I just Friday night we were having, we were at a new restaurant, and this waitress came up and she was adorable. So I practiced this whole thing. And again, it's coming from the heart. It's authentic. But she was so adorable. So I'm just asking her questions. And literally in 60 seconds, I know that she's going to school for OT. Her parents are marathoners. They're totally athletes. They're in their 50s. And she also has a nutrition background. So in 60 seconds, and then I got her to friend me on Facebook.
Yes.
So and I challenge you guys just to get out there and, make 3 new connections this week.
Right. Do you have any suggestions for people who are a little bit more shy? That's a hard one, I know.
Yeah. I think even if you're shy, because I started out, this was uncomfortable for me too. Even if you're shy, if you want to attract business partners and customers, right, we kind of have to, why are we shy? You have to kind of dig deep, are we embarrassed about the information we're going to give them? Are we embarrassed to get their information? But you guys, just by asking questions, starting off with a compliment. So just get used to if you're standing in the grocery store line, just giving someone a compliment, if that's all you do. Slowly break into this. Give them a compliment. If it's a server at a restaurant, and they're doing a great job, or there's something about them you authentically like, their hair, their shirt, their name, the way that they're giving you service, just compliment them. So maybe that's a good way to start slow, compliment. And then get used to maybe asking another question, like, are you here? How long have you worked here? Right? That's another question. And just get used to giving a compliment and then asking questions. And then you'll get more and more comfortable, and you'll see that you're going to make people feel good, right? By giving them compliments and being genuinely interested in them and what they do. And then it's going to turn around and they're going to be interested in what you do. And then voila, you get to share what you do.
Very good. I like that. That's very good. Do you have a little bit of time for Q&A?
Sure.
Okay. We are almost at the bottom of the hour, but we have a little bit of time. If somebody has a question, go ahead and unmute yourself or type it in the chat box. If you have a question for Christi. She's a wealth of information. She's got a lot of experience on the health side of things and in the business side. Anybody have a question?
Christi, I'll toss you a softball. It's Mark in Kansas City. While other folks are cooking up their questions, I was fascinated by. I'm always fascinated by the first thing we respond to when people ask us what we do, and I know that was there are some people right now trying to remember exactly your verbiage. Not that they need to try to copy that, but I thought that was excellent. Would you mind repeating that again for folks who found that magical thing that we do?
Yes, I have a global wellness business. Excuse me, I have a global business in anti-aging, marketing products, and nutrigenomics. Because doesn't that sum it up? Like global, so it's for anybody. Anti-aging. Some people like healthy aging. I was Kathleen Troust. You know, she's an elite, and she's like, I like healthy aging. I'm like, that's cool, but I actually really like anti-aging. I think, you know, this business is all about plan, do, review. So I mean, I've tweaked that so many times. Because you plan it, you do it, and then you're like, you review it. Like, is that piquing interest by saying that?
Yeah, and I find that I sometimes will default to, I don't know who it was you were talking about this in Ireland with your distributor there. But talking to a millennial, a lot of times I will throw in that biotech terminology as well, because I think that's attractive to a younger generation as well.
Mark, that's actually a really good point. Yeah. So depending on who you're talking to, you are going to want to tweak it. They like the word biohacking, right? They understand biotech, they understand biohacking, and they understand more prevention. So I probably wouldn't use, if I was talking to a millennial, I wouldn't say anti-aging. I would say more prevention. Yeah. Yeah. So good point. Good point.
And the other thing, while I've got you, I loved your observation that he who asks the questions remains in control of the conversation. That's really succinctly put, and I think that's an excellent point that you made under number 1.
Thank you.
Really
and getting as much information from them as you possibly can before they ask you. Because then you can tweak what you're saying, right? You want to identify their needs and concerns, so you can then come back to them with a solution. So if you let them control the conversation and start asking you questions, then you're not going to be able to really offer them a solution if you don't know what it is yet.
And you're backpedaling, which is very attractive.
What was that?
I said, and you're backpedaling, which is terribly unattractive and unenthusiastic.
Exactly, right. Right.
Julie, you want to catch that question about NAD samples?
Okay. Does anyone sample NAD to new preferred customers? That being someone who hasn't yet tried any products.
Oh, great question. So me personally, right, we've all are kind of experimenting out here, but so I came out of the gate and I gave samples to my customers who were already on Nerf 2, at least Nerf 2, if not Nerf 1, right, and other products, I sampled them. What I did was I had, as soon as we came back from Long Beach, I had presentations lined up. So all of my guests who came to the presentation, I gave them a sample. Mm-hmm. Now, if they were already a customer of Nerf 2, at least, I gave them actually a 4-day sample, because I realized right initially with all of our new distributors that were taking the NAD right away that it was really about 4 days on average where people kind of leveled out. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but that's what I felt. So I gave them a 4-day sample. For people who weren't on anything that came to a presentation, I gave them a 4-day sample. And I don't recommend this for everyone because it gets kind of pricey, but Nerf 2, Nerf 1, and the NAD, 4 days. Now, some people actually charge like $15, which I think that would be ideal for that 4-day sample of all of those. But what I found was that, people were experiencing different things right away, right? Have you guys noticed that? There's some detox happening in some people. And if they weren't used to Nerf 2 and Nerf 1, we added in the NAD, as we know, that makes Nerf 2 and Nerf 1 even more powerful. Right. So I did that for the first kind of 2 presentations that first week, and then I nixed that. And now, so I'm not doing any more samples really, unless it's someone that's been on the Nerf 2 at least for a while and, they want to try it. I will give them that, but I will also kind of let them know that you might go through a little bit of a detox, but I will not now give NAD to anyone who has not been on any of the products yet. Because we're risking them having a little bit of a detox and not feeling very well and then not going on anything, right? So what have you guys experienced with the NAD? Have you?
Yeah, I feel great.
Okay.
Since everybody's gotten quiet. I had the same response. Interestingly, I had the same response I had when I introduced Nerf 1, which was a little bit of fatigue and sluggishness in the afternoon. So I separated my Nerf 1 from my NAD, and I'm still I'm flipping them. I haven't really settled in to see if NAD in the morning is better than NAD at night, but I know if I double up with NAD and Nerf 1 at the same time, that's not a good recipe for me. And so I'm taking all my physique products before breakfast as well, separating those completely out and getting them in. So that's me.
Perfect. Yeah. I actually, like my first day on NAD, I've had no issues like with Nerf 2, whatever, but with NAD, I felt really nauseous and a little jittery my very first day. And I didn't eat it with food. So then as soon as I put some food in my stomach, I felt fine. Then day 2, I was actually a little tired. I was yawning all day. So it really wasn't until on day 3, I felt better. And then day 4, I'm like, whoa, and then that has been a couple of people's experience. And then there's other people where, man, they take it and literally 5 minutes to 30 minutes, they feel amazing. So you just never know. So we just have to, have really great customer care, when if we're going to sample or a brand new customer, we want to follow up every single day with that person for sure. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I've had a very good experience with the NAD. The first day, though, what happened to me was I think I already had sort of a high rate of metabolism. And so I just wasn't hungry and I wasn't thinking about food, so I hardly ate anything the first day. But I definitely had extra energy and the mental focus and all that, which is what I've noticed the most with it. I feel really, really good on it. But yeah, I think the point you made with the customer care is so important. So
yes. Yes. How are you doing today? So I'm telling, because of my experience, I'm telling everybody to take it with food, just a little bit, even if it's a couple nuts or little oatmeal, whatever, but just a little bit of food in the morning.
Yeah,
Just because of my experience, and other people haven't had the issue, but then I'll follow up with them every single day until I know that they feel great.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you've been so helpful, so much good information, and
Thank
so
you.
appreciate it. It's been great just to get to know you a little bit, and love all your experience, and appreciate your heart to help us and to make a difference in our businesses. These are some really great tips. I have some great notes to go over. So thank you so much for.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm honored.
Yes. Mark, did you have anything else that you wanted to share?
I always have lots of stuff I want to share, but we're past the bottom of the hour. I think we'll save a lot of the announcements for later. I do want to mention it in case you're living under a rock and have not heard. Anyone who is on an auto ship subscription for an Ultimate Stack or Vitality Stack, and the upgrade, a Vitality Stack or goodness, somebody help me. What's the other?
The Duo.
Oh,
The Duo, yeah. Anyone who upgrades to an Ultimate Stack by the end of the month gets a free bag of Axio. That's a no-brainer. And I just want to recommend, folks, if you haven't gotten your head around the fact that we no longer have a flagship product, but we have a flagship system, I really want to encourage us to revisit that, those plenary keynote sessions from Long Beach, because it's such a game changer for not only our company, but for your personal business as well. To give every single distributor in your team capability to one click their 200 personal volume on the products that we need to be taking every single day. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? So this is another extra incentive by the company to get folks to start moving in that direction and take advantage of this product launch. I tell you, there are so many people that are crushing it right now. I was going to go through our Cancun incentive trip tracking points. David Meisner and Lena have 3 of the top 5 in our organization. What? We won't go through all those tonight, but I want to mention that. And of course, everybody get registered for the Next Life Vantage Academy and the virtual training that's going on once a month as well. So that's probably, I will leave it there, Julie, from my end, and I'll let you close us out.
Well, thanks again. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Christy. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Welcome.
We really appreciate that, and have a blessed week. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.